Tennis certification. I used to be, technically I still am, USPTA certified P2 level. You have your USPTA, your PTR, USTA certified coach. Well, let me just play this video here that sums up what I think about tennis certification.
Ted, guy puts a fancy guarantee in a box because he wants you to feel all warm and toasty inside.
Yeah, makes a man feel good.
Of course it does. Why shouldn't it? You figure you put that little box under your pillow at night, the guarantee fairy might come by and leave a quarter. Am I right, Ted?
What's your point?
The point is, how do you know the fairy isn't a crazy glue sniffer? Building model airplane, says the little fairy. Well, we're not buying it. If he sneaks into your house once, that's all it takes. Next thing you know, there's money missing off the dresser and your daughter's knocked up. I've seen it 100 times.
But why do they put a guarantee on the box then?
Because they know all they sold you was a guaranteed piece of shit. That's all it is, isn't it? Hey, if you want me to take a dump in a box and mark it guaranteed, I will. I got spare time. But for now, for your customer's sake, for your daughter's sake, you might want to think about buying a quality product from me.
Okay.
So I remember when I first started coaching tennis, of course, the guy that was mentoring me or the coach that I was talking to, of course, the first thing he said is you got to get certified, either USPTA or PTR here in the United States. And he was USPTA, so I went and got USPTA certified. I went to New York City, Flushing Meadows, where the US Open is held, and man, was this a bad experience. I mean, these guys running the show, the one guy was all right, but the other guy, was so loud in there, and he kept saying I wasn't loud enough, I wasn't talking loud enough. But eventually, I did pass the test down in Maryland, and I got my P2 certified. Never tried to get certified any higher than that. The guy I was talking about, he was a master, what they call a master pro. And I did some work with PTR, but I never got certified by PTR. And apparently, at least back then, PTR was much easier. But I have watched and implemented techniques and what I've seen in videos from conferences all over the world. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of content I have practiced and implemented on my own. And in my opinion, the ITF material, the International Tennis Federation's material, you can find it at the ITFtennis.com, is much superior to the USPTR and USPTA material. Essentially, what certification does is they have you memorize and describe, the key word, describe what tennis looks like. Are you able to memorize that and describe it to your student and then hopefully teach it to them? That's what the USPTA does and the PTR or any tennis certification at a very base level. And then when I consider myself becoming a real coach and I started my tennis club, I didn't get certification. And I remember people coming in there, and after a while they would see my style and they would see how things would go, and I think they would like me and they want to stick around, but they couldn't deal with the fact that I didn't have certification. They would ask me, and I could have lied. I could have said I have, because technically I did have it. But they wanted to know, where are you certified? Are you certified? And it just bothered me so much that these people had to know that I had this piece of paper. After all, with all the things that I was doing, to me it was kind of a joke, but that's the way the world works. I would say somewhere around 70% of people watching this, 70% of people involved in tennis, they're going to want to see some kind of certification, some kind of evidence. And when you watch the pros, the coaches of these pros, a lot of them, the Brad Gilberts, the Darren Cahills, the Yannick Sinner's coach, they are just basically hanging around. And this is what coaches do. They hang around and they jump on the bandwagon of the player that is doing the best. That's all they do. I can't even consider them real coaches. They may have been at one point, but now they're just fame seekers and looking for the big paycheck, the big television exposure piece. That's what they are. And that's certification in tennis coaching in a nutshell.